People assume that moving to a different country can be risky for your health. My experience has been exactly the opposite. Steve here. This is On the Ground, the Travel Health Series. An update, this is episode number 2. Episode number 1 was an actual health emergency where I got attacked by a pit bull just about a kilometer away from here. I'll leave a link to that in the description or call up the playlist and just select episode number 1. That was the only emergency that I've had traveling international over the last 36 years. So pretty good, right? I had to get some stitches. I'm healing up nicely, no pain, no infections, no issues. And I'm hoping to get the stitches out within the next week to be able to resume normal day-to-day life. This is an episode in answer to a viewer question. I live in the US and suffer from bad allergies. When I have traveled internationally, my allergies really improved. It's a huge deal. Good to know that being in Ecuador finally fixed your allergies. So I'm going to focus on allergies and a couple other things in this episode, and this question prompted that. So if you have questions about health, I'm happy to answer them. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. This isn't medical advice. This is my experience, what's working for me down here in Ecuador. So when I was in Canada, I did have allergies and I was having trouble sleeping. And let me say, I'll unpack this episode across 3 different points. Sometimes the environment is the problem, point 1. Point 2, lifestyle matters more than geography. And point 3, build your own health experiment. I'll share with you my results, and as always, the Bruce Lee approach: take what's useful, discard what isn't, and add what is uniquely your own. So point number 1, sometimes environment is the problem. I had allergies when I was in Canada, mostly in the spring, seasonal allergies. Sometimes not too bad, other times itchy eyes, watery eyes, sneezing, things like that. Nothing incapacitating, but I had a couple of attacks that were pretty strong, and I haven't had any of those down here. Another thing I want to mention, it's maybe more of an environmental issue as opposed to an allergy. I lived in a condo for 20 years, and if I wanted to get a decent night's sleep, I was running an oil diffuser, essential oil diffuser, a humidifier, and an air filter, and leaving the window open. In the winter just a little, because Toronto's cold in the winter, but in the summer more. And I had to do those things just so I could sleep through the night. If I didn't do those things, I would wake up with my nose clogged. I wasn't able to breathe through my nose, and I'd be breathing through my mouth, and my mouth would be all chapped and dry. I had to take a drink of water and go back to sleep for a couple hours until, inevitably, I would be woken up by the same thing again. And those 3 devices, and having the window open, helped me a lot in getting a decent night's sleep. Since coming down to Ecuador, that was November 2022, I haven't had any of those issues. No allergies, I haven't had problems sleeping through the night. I do find the air drier here in Cuenca and at higher altitudes, but when I'm out in the campo, in the countryside, it doesn't really affect me because there's so many plants and you're usually around water. It's a much more natural environment here in Cuenca than you would find, for example, in Quito or Guayaquil. No more allergies and no issues sleeping through the night. I've been tracking my sleep, and I get between 7.5 and 8 hours of sleep a night. I don't know if there was a time when I was in my condo in Toronto where I slept 7.5 hours a night. I don't think so. Probably between 6 and 7 hours a night was pretty normal for me, and my body got used to it. My health was already pretty good, but since coming down to Ecuador, it is way better. And that is a story I hear from expats all the time. Key takeaway is that sometimes changing your environment changes your health. And in my case, it vastly improved my health based on the way I was living in Toronto versus the way I lived down here in South America. And that's in Ecuador and in Colombia. Point 2, lifestyle matters more than geography. Something I've noticed and something a lot of expats say, they're walking a lot more. The food quality is much better, the air quality, water quality, everything is much better. It's a lot less stressful to live down here. Now, I didn't move here to become healthier. The improved health is a nice side benefit that I wasn't counting on. I was hoping for. I wasn't sure how it would play out, aside from being mauled by a pit bull last week, which realistically could have happened anywhere. The experiment continues, and I'm in a really good place. Not just physical health, but also mental and emotional health. Way better than when I left Canada 4 years ago. Point number 3, build your own health experiment. So I'm sharing with you some of the stuff that I've done and some things I've heard from other expats. I'm paying attention to my sleep, to my energy, digestion, moods, allergies, my weight. I'm a pretty skinny guy. I'm under 140 pounds. I'm about 6'1". So I should weigh more. And I've had to put a couple notches in my belts to keep my pants up. And that's probably less than ideal for me, but my body feels great. And for me, this is my body normalizing, saying this is what we weigh, and this is perfect for us. I think I usually weigh about 145, so I lost 5 pounds. Not sure how I did that. Pretty sure it's going to be a really hard time trying to put them back on. But in the meantime, I feel great across every metric that's important to me. I'm going to say that's available to people if you want to come down, move your body more, get out in the fresh air, have a much less stressful and more relaxed environment down here. All those things have created a much healthier version of me. I'm super grateful for them, and it wasn't the reason I came down here, but that's been a huge side effect, very beneficial side effect. Move your body more, get better nutrition, stop eating processed foods, get out and walk if that's available to you, spend time in nature at a park, a national park, a city park, volunteering on farms, whatever it is. All these things can really vastly improve your health. And of course, as always, consult a physician. I'm not a doctor, not medical advice. Health is one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people move to South America. I had some minor health issues. Allergies were on that list, and be able to sleep through the night were also on that list. And both of those things vastly improved when I came to Ecuador, and across all parts of Ecuador, by the way. I've been in the mountains, jungle, down on the coast, in the rainforest, like all over the country, and every place is a little bit different for me, but my health level and my sleep quality and quality of life maintains across all of those different environments. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any questions, please hit me up. This is the pillar I will be focusing on going forward. I have a bunch of things to unpack here, and again, not medical advice, just my experiments and my experiences down here living in Ecuador over the last almost 4 years now. Until next time, stay healthy, stay safe. Happy trails. See you on the ground next week.